Welcome, everyone. Make sure everyone's muted. It's Monday. Happy Monday. Mondays can be, I know for me, they're a mixed bag. I oftentimes work on Saturdays. Those are typically pretty intense clinic days. Sundays are kind of this like, oh man, I just need a break. And then come Monday morning, it's like, oh no, it's Monday already again. So I don't know if that's the case for you, but hopefully we can spend a few minutes together being mindful. So Monday mindfulness practice. The the theme or the quote that I want to emphasize today is in business school we learned this adage, which is you can't manage what you can't measure. And I think it's a really appropriate saying for just our human existence in general. So what I mean with that is mindfulness is this process of to some extent being able to see or be aware of stuff that's happening. So thoughts, feelings, sensations, right? It's the ability to just take a step back and actually be able to quote unquote, measure what's happening in the present moment. And this idea of managing has to do with, okay, so now what? Meaning if I don't know that I'm triggered and feeling really frustrated and angry, everything that's going to come out of my mouth, any behaviors that follow that are just going to be unconscious, reactive, triggered things. And that's, I know in my life, that's when I get myself into trouble. And so the whole point of cultivating a mindfulness practice is sort of cultivating that ability to take a step back and actually be aware. So self-awareness of, oh wow, this is, right now my body feels really agitated, or there's this adrenaline rush, or I'm having all these memories of the last time, this particular thing happened with you or this person or whatever it might be. So again, if you don't know what's happening, it's really hard to do anything about it. And one of the foundational goals of mindfulness, I think, is just to cultivate that ability to sit back and simply notice this is what's happening in my mind and my body and so forth. And there are two specific aspects that I want to focus on today. The first one is humility. So I'm one of those people that loves sitting in airplanes and staring out the window for hours and hours because I just find it endlessly fascinating that, I'm up at 30 whatever thousand feet in this little metal tube hurtling through the atmosphere and looking down and just thinking, who are all those people down there, and what are they thinking, and what's going on in their lives? And to some extent I kind of know, right? We're all humans and we're all grappling with relationships and aging and careers and money and all that kind of stuff. And so for me what it evokes is, I think, this sense of humility of looking out at this vast expanse and just realizing with a degree of humility that, wow, there's so much going on, so much to being a human being, and I'm no different than anyone down there. And there's this, I think, a kind of spiritual connection that occurs when I stare out the window and look at everyone down there and imagine them, living their lives and having their struggles and, doing whatever they're doing. The other piece that I want to focus on today is creativity. Because I think once you tap into the humility of realizing there's all this stuff happening that is part of the human experience, then comes this question of, well, what do I do with it? So now I'm noticing, all these emotions, all these memories, all these things happening, and I'm presented with this inflection point of, okay, so now what? And oftentimes I think when we're unconscious, we get into these reactive triggered modes, and there's something really profoundly empowering about being creative about what we're noticing. Oh, I'm having these memories, or I'm feeling scared or agitated, or I'm feeling really blissful and happy right now. Whatever it is, there's a creative process that kicks in that says, okay, Ali, what are you going to do with this? And again, that's this idea of, I don't think it's necessarily the perfect term for it, but it's, you can't manage what you can't measure. So if I don't know what's going on, I'm kind of at a loss as to what to do with it. So I will lack creativity. So anyway, I hope these two themes is what I'd like to focus on today. So let's try that. Let's practice. So let's close our eyes. And the first step is always to ground. And by grounding, I mean just connecting with what is right here, right now, in this moment. So I'm noticing as I close my eyes, there's fluttering. I see all kinds of shapes and colors in my eyes, even though they're closed. And noticing the body, the contact with the chair, the ground, or wherever you find yourself. Just notice there you are, right here, right now. And fundamental to any kind of mindfulness practice is becoming aware of what's going on in the body. So to some extent, sort of measuring. And so noticing what do the feet feel like right now? What does your lower body feel like in this moment? Is it light, heavy, any aches and pains? Just noticing. And then what about the torso? The belly, chest, lower and upper back. Again, we're not trying to change anything. We're just noticing. We are quote unquote measuring what's going on with the body, the upper torso. And then last, but certainly not least, the head sitting on top of our neck. And so much of our lives are spent up there. So see if you can just take a step back, simply notice, what does the head feel like? Mouth, jaw, eyes, forehead. And what has the mind got to say about all of this? What is the mind noticing, judging, perceiving? Remembering? I think this is where humility enters the picture. So see if you can connect with the realization or the sense that this is all happening. The body's feeling what it's feeling. The mind is thinking what it's thinking. and it's just happening. I'm pretty sure that none of us have any idea what the mind is going to be thinking in 30 seconds from now. Question is, can we be open to whatever happens when it happens and simply notice and see if you can connect with a sense of humility around, like, I have no control over what the mind thinks, what the body feels. At best, I can just bear witness to it when it happens, just be aware that it's happening. If you notice the mind wandering off into some other thoughts about the future or memories of the past, again, if you can connect with a sense of humility around that this is just happening, don't have any control over it. That doesn't mean that I can't simply bear witness to what's happening. And then creativity enters the picture because there's this question of, okay, now that I see what the mind is doing or what the body's feeling, so now what? What do I want to do with this information or these sensations or this awareness that this is all happening? Once we see it, to some extent, we have a choice. And that fundamentally, I think, is a creative process. What now? I think the creativity is a doorway into our core values, a compassion, kindness, love. So the awareness of all of this mental and physical information is open. We can do what we want with it. Go ahead and take a deep breath in. Long exhale through the mouth, all the way out, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. Deep inhale. Exhale. Letting it all go, relaxing the body, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, open your eyes. That went really quickly for me today, so unfortunately we're out of time. I'm hoping, to plant these two ideas of humility about the fact that we don't really get to choose a lot of what our experiences are. They just are there. And then once we notice that, creativity enters the picture and poses the opportunity for us to say, okay, now what? What do I do with this? So anyway, hope that was helpful. I'll stick around for a few more minutes and hope you guys have a great day. See you tomorrow.